So just going to move on to the head and start disassembling that. I did watch another video just to get some hints and so forth, because this is the first time I'm going this far with an engine. Always wanted to do it, watched other people do it, but never had the courage basically to do it myself. So that's why I actually thought I'd do this video. Maybe it can help somebody else out that's always wanted to do it and has always been maybe afraid or just scared to do it. So that was the whole point of me doing this video. If I can help one person out, that's great. As I was saying, I was watching a couple of videos. I was watching one guy on YouTube disassembling an engine, and one thing he was looking for is to see that all the bolts that you're taking off crack when they come off. So that means, yeah, they're not loose, they're not stretched or worn. That's something I didn't know about, but like I said, you learn from other people and then you try to do it yourself. So and all these ones seem to be cracking, which is good. And when you do start taking stuff off, just look for any telltale signs of markings and so forth. So yeah, take pictures and take notes, because even on these there is an arrow, if I can get that, on which way it's supposed to go, face. So make sure, if you got marks like these, make sure you put them back on the same way. So I've taken a bunch of photos, and even with the video I can always go back and check. So even though when I pulled the engine apart and saw all that burnt oil and crap and so forth in it, just checking out on the top here, all the oil holes seem to be clean, which is good. So at least, you know, even with all that crud, some oil was still making itself up to the top. So all they're off, and there's still crud oil on here too, so it's got to have another clean anyway, so I'm not worried about that. Sorry guys, just stopped the video there. I just wanted to put the spark plugs back in. Something that I saw is just to check if the valves are sort of okay, just to level it out, and just pour some petrol inside and just let them sit there for a while and see if it leaks out. I mean, I will ground the valves, and I don't want I will clean the head, but like I said, something that I saw and I thought, yeah, you got the chance, try it. You only try by learning, you learn by trying, so. So I've got petrol in all of them. What I'm going to do is let it sit for about 10-15 minutes. See if there's any leakage out on the cardboard or on the bench, and then we'll move on from there. So I'll see you shortly. Welcome back guys, it's been about 15 minutes or so, and it looks like we have got some leakage where the petrol's drained out. It hasn't hit the cardboard yet, But basically inside here we got some leakage in some of them. So it's a good little trick, something I saw in a video, so it helped me out. So you're always learning. Just going to do a bit more work on the block. I'm just before I remove the valve, I'm just going to give them a quick light brush over just to get rid of any hard rubbish or whatever. And yep. We're going to start removing the valves. Just before you do, just give them a bit of a tap, make sure they're loose. We're just going to start removing the valves off the head here, guys. Just show you the way I do it. You just got to, with this pattern here, I mean if you use one of the spring things and so forth for removing valves and all that, I've seen videos of them and so forth. I don't like them, so I came up with my own way of doing it. Just basically just get a piece of scrap, this is just a bit of MDF, and just get it to fit in there like that. It's pretty simple to make. MDF's really easy to work with. Do that, and then it's just a mirror image. You flip it over and put it in there, and then basically when you got it on the press, it just stops the valve from moving all the way down, and you'll never get it out otherwise. So just from there, mirror image, and it flows back into there. So it's real simple to make, easy. Let's get started. So the way I do mine, guys, is I just made up this little thing. It's just a piece of pipe, just weld a flat piece of steel in and just stick a bolt in through the middle of it and just tie it up. And basically also the other thing is you've just got to shape this a little bit so it fits over your valve properly, if you can see that. Just get it to fit like that, and that's pretty much it. So you just stick that in the drill press. It doesn't have to look pretty, just has to do the job. So let's start. So just line it up, guys, like that. If you have it the wrong way with the groove, you'll see light coming through here. You don't want that, you want it to sit nice. So put it on like that, and then just pull it down, and there it goes. There's one. There's the other. Then you can just release it slowly, and there you go. Move over to the next one. All you got to do is just slide your table, bring it back down, slowly line it up, and at least this way you're not actually holding the whole head and so forth, and that all the weight's been taken up by the table, and push it down like that. There's one, there's two, and all I'm doing is holding it down with one hand, and I got one hand free, and then just slowly release it, and it's nice and safe and easy. This head's really bad, as in the amount of oil build up and so forth. They're off these ones, and that's just caked with burnt oil and so forth. These ones were okay. These ones here are really tight. Basically the pins are like really caked in there and really hard to get out. So we'll just add a little bit of heat to these just to loosen up the oil and that, and then crack them. And there we go. So if you find them a little bit tough, just add a little bit of heat. I mean, the seal underneath, even on the other ones, that was like completely gone. It was as hard as a rock. So you're going to have to replace them anyway. So that's the only sort of damage you're going to do here. I mean, you only got, like you saw, it was only like about 20 seconds there just to get some heat into it. And there you go, just released it. And that's why they're so hard to get out. They're really stuck in there. There's one, there's the other, and then just release it. Let's try the next one. And pretty much the same thing with this one, it's really on there tight. So we'll just add a bit more heat. And there we go, just release. So you only need like 10-15 seconds of it. There's one, there's two, and just release it. That's it. So, what I'm guessing is, and what I've said before is, I don't think this engine has ever been pulled apart before. Hasn't had an oil change either, so yeah, they're really caked on. So, but as you can see, there's not that much heat. I can still touch it and so forth. Just a little bit. Just helps to release the burnt oil and that, and they come off. No damage, which is good. So. Let's keep going. After you remove the pins, just bring it on the bed. Like I said, this one here is really caked on and quite hard to remove. There's so much oil on there, so you can't see. And just flip that off. Keep everything in order. There it is. And basically with the oil seals here, these ones here are just coated on. They're real brittle. But just give them a light tap on the head here and they'll just snap like that. Pull it out, clean it all up, make sure there's no little bits, and then just take it out. Snap it off, And like I said, they're just brittle, they're gone. And that's it. Just made myself up a little board, just put front on it, exhaust, inlet and so forth, and just put them back in as they belong. Just like that. You want to keep everything in order because it's got to go back in the same spot, and when you ground the valves and all that, you want to make sure the same valve's going in the same seat. So this is a piece I was talking about earlier that I just made up. Just fits in there like that. Basically just get a bit of tape, just put it in there like that just to hold it. At least that way when you put it up on your drill press, that doesn't fall out and sits nice and flat with it. So we got it all done. They're all removed. They all look pretty clean. There's no like huge carbon build-up or anything like that in there, which I'm surprised about, but it is good. And there are all the parts there. So what we'll end up doing now is start doing some cleaning, get all that oil and crud off, and we keep moving on. Just quick about the tools I made to use it. This was just a bit of MDF. Started off at about 12mm thick, which just fits in there like that. If you when you sand it down and so forth, I just normally use my grinder with a disc on it, sandpapering disc, and that's the easiest way, just to grind it down. It only takes a few minutes to do it. As for the tool in the drill press, that's pretty much what it looks like. Like I said, pretty simple to make, just a bit of pipe, and this pipe isn't that thick. It's only probably about I'd say probably 2mm, maybe a little thicker, and just cut a notch out of it, weld a flat plate on the top. You can weld a rod in if you want. I just put a bolt in and so forth because it's not spinning or anything, it's just there to lock in and keep it as one unit. So yeah, if that helps you out, great. Look out for the next one, guys, where we'll start cleaning up all this crap and get all this oil off them.